Hey, welcome to Flight Test. I'm Alex, this is Josh.
Hi.
And today we have a very special plane.
It's a special day and a special plane.
It's a big plane.
Now this is the E-flite Carbon Z Cub.
Yes, my dad actually got one for his birthday.
Yes.
And so I've had the first-hand experience watching my dad deal with it. I've gotten to fly it. It's got a lot of really awesome things about it.
A lot of
and
cool
also,
features.
Also a couple downfalls too.
It's always a drawback once in a while, but hopefully there's some tips to override that.
But the way that it flies, in my opinion, outweighs all the downfalls that it has.
Nice.
It really performs really, really well. And it runs off of a 6-cell battery. They recommend, I think, a 3200, but
Wow.
I've heard that it flies fine with up to a 5000. So basically, a lot of you guys are probably wondering what the specs, and we've been doing a new thing that works pretty well.
Yeah.
So check it out, specs. The other things I noticed, the build process is actually pretty easy. It's a pretty simple build. It does take a couple hours to put together.
Yeah.
One of the tough things I found was like the screws. None of the screws are labeled.
Okay.
I forget the exact name, but if you do a search on RC groups, there's a really good article on all the different screws are for. So it kind of eliminates some of the mystery behind all the screws.
The hardware was nice. I like the cotter pins. I like those kind of features.
It was all pretty nice, and like I said, the build was pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. One of the main things we instantly noticed was the battery compartment.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like it was just like an afterthought. It doesn't seem like it's like they designed this awesome plane and like, oh, we need to put a battery in it. Let's just cut a hole in the windshield.
Well, one of the unfortunate things about that is because you're going to want to fly this plane a lot.
Yes.
It's going to get a lot of traffic opening up and closing that hatch.
Yeah.
After a while, it starts flaking and getting a little bit ratty.
That foam gets soft when you're reaching in there trying to strap it down with the Velcro and stuff like that. It softens up that foam and the paint starts to chip.
Yeah.
We did find, and actually Chris Roncaglione told us about this, there's an aftermarket battery tray you can get.
Yeah.
We'll put a link in the description so you can see it. It's pretty cheap and it's well worth the money. This is a very, very big, heavy battery that's rolling around in there, and you do not want it to come loose. No. And more importantly, it just makes it way more convenient to strap your battery in. It basically just clicks in and you clamp it and it's locked.
Yeah.
So it's going to save your paint. It's going to make your plane look better,
Yeah.
and you're not going to waste as much time fooling around with those Velcro straps.
And one of the nice things about that too is I like how it has the CG mark. So say you want to fly a certain way, you can move it from a 4 to a 5, and you can dial in where you like your CG in the sweet spot. And you can always know if you go to that number, you're going to get the same flying experience.
Yeah, and the only other downside I noticed with this is the size, and it is awesome because it's very big.
It's a blessing and a curse. You know, obviously with bigger planes comes some maintenance. You got to take it apart. You can't just put it in the backseat of your car and go to the field.
It's not necessarily a low maintenance, throw it in your backseat kind of park flyer. If you're looking for something real low maintenance that you can just throw in your car, take it to the field real quick and burn a couple batteries, you might want to go something a little bit smaller.
So those are the uglies, but you know what? I have a feeling there's a lot of really good points about it.
So, and you're about to experience that right now. So you haven't flown it yet, right?
Nope, I never flown it. I've been wiggling the ailerons, just kind of anticipating.
Cool,
so.
I'm gonna chase you with a quad.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
All right, let's put it up in the air.
All right.
Yeah. Put it right. Oh wow. There's just a little bit of trim here. There we go. Well, it's definitely not lacking for power. I took off probably about third throttle. Let's go and trim it out here.
Looks awesome in the air.
Does it? Can you keep up with me?
Barely.
But you know what? We have something called flaps here. I'll do one pass and then we'll try that out. Now this has AS3X in it. So right now I'm just flying just normal aqua mode. Look at that. How's that for slow? Just grab it in the wind.
It's pretty cool. So what do you think?
It's amazing. It has so much authority, but you know what? I loved full scale flying and I also love large scale model flying. This feels like a scale Cub. You have to mix your rudder in, you got to mix your controls, you know, because you have adverse yaw. That's where one aileron drags more than the other and pitches it the opposite direction. I like that. You know what? It's handling the wind amazingly well.
Yeah, well, it has the AS3X in it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't even have that turned on.
Oh, really?
Here, I'll turn it on now.
And actually, we didn't mention this is actually a scale model of a full scale.
Yeah,
and it's not just your normal Cub. There's actually a company called Cub Crafters.
That's one notch of flaps right there. It's hovering. Look at that. You could darn near land on me, brother. Let's try 2 notches. Now what I did is I actually dialed in a delay on my flaps, so that way it doesn't pitch aggressively. But it's also a good idea to actually mix your elevator in with your flaps so you don't get that ballooning effect. It gives you a little bit of down. It just hovers all day long.
It is windy.
It is really
It was actually
windy.
just raining. There's a storm rolling around, but it's not over us right now, so we figured we'd get a flight in.
Let's see how inverted it is. It just feels like such a nice scale plane. Beautiful. No bad tendencies. Like you just crab it inverted. That's amazing.
Nice. That was awesome.
This fly's amazing. You know what? I want to save some of my battery. I'm gonna do a landing. I'm gonna pop a notch of flaps. Is it so comfortable? 2 notches.
You gonna coming downwind or okay?
I'm going right into the wind. There we go. Oh, and I saw one of the first complaints about it.
What's that?
The counterbalance is coming off.
Oh, that happened to my dad twice.
Yeah, I just literally just tilted just a little bit with full flare.
There it is.
And I took off my counterbalance. So guys, keep that in mind. Sometimes counterbalances will get snagged in the grass and get ripped off. I didn't give it the most graceful landing, but that is a fact of life.
Cool. Well, nice job, man.
Thanks. You know what would be fun? We have some wind, we have some challenges. We have 3 carbon cups here, and I have a feeling we're gonna be using this for a lot of different things. Let's go ahead and just practice some short takeoffs and some short landings and see how it does.
That would be cool. Yeah, that's what they're known for. So
yeah.
Let's put it to the test, see what happens.
All right, I'll get a new battery in this. All right, we are fortunate to have Peter from Foam and Tape and Bob Parmalee. We have 3 Carbon Z's, and we're gonna see how they do with short takeoff and landings.
Yeah.
Ready to do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
You gonna follow us?
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
That's pretty darn short. All right, I'm gonna try a notch of flaps here. Are you kidding me? That was like 2 feet. Oh my gosh. All right. So which ones are you gonna follow here?
Who's following who?
All right,
I guess I'm in the middle right now.
I'll go in the lead here.
You're
right.
doing pretty good. Just try to keep them together like that. That's awesome.
All right, here, I'm gonna see if I can put it down right at the cones here. Whoop, I totally overshot that one. Wow, you really gotta dial up some down trim if you hit flaps.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
That's pretty wild when you hit the throttle.
I've never flown one of these before, so this is all pretty new to me.
It was your maiden too, wasn't it?
My maiden flight.
You know what, the only hard thing right now is I wanna watch everyone else.
I think my CG's a little far
That
back.
looked close.
All right, here we go. Whoop, I missed it.
Oops, I just went down.
You just went down?
Yeah.
Bob's down.
Is he okay?
See if you can
How
help him find
badly
it.
Is it?
It looks like he knows down.
Ow.
Oh man, poor Bob. Luckily the grass is kind of tall.
Overshot. This is such a floaty thing. It's,
Yeah, it really is.
You just float right over them. This is kind of embarrassing. They're crazy easy to fly though.
Who am I following right now?
Yeah, that's me. You want me to slow
Cool.
down more? Here,
If you can, that'd be awesome.
there you go.
All right, trying my approach. Ow, a little rough.
Slipping a little bit there, Josh.
That was a bouncing go?
That was cool.
Do you see how it just like it elevators up, man? It's just there's no stopping.
They sound pretty angry.
Yeah, like angry
6 cell power.
angry buzzsaws.
Maybe we should take 4 of these motors and make a quad.
I like that. Look at that thing just. That's amazing. All right, so we had some fun doing some spot landings. Sadly, we lost one Bob Parmalee plane, but we got 2 left, and we're gonna do some limbo. It just has so much power, it's ridiculous. This weather has just been constantly changing, you notice
Yeah,
that?
the wind's coming directly at our backs right now. So we got a bit of a crosswind while going under there.
Let's see how.
Who's gonna crash first?
There we go. No touching the ground. It was close though.
Yeah, I touched the
Oh,
ground.
you touched it. Oh, wow.
I think I bought that one.
So limbo was a bad idea.
Limbo's a bad idea in a crosswind, but you know what? Knife edging in wind is fun. Look at that. This doesn't even have the stability on it. And it's hovering.
You're doing pretty good.
No, thanks. I'm not a 3D pilot though.
This isn't really much of a 3D plane too.
I'm just gonna play with it then, since there's no one to limbo with. You're gonna do it slower, okay? Flies great inverted. We're dealing with some pretty gross, nasty wind too today. and it's really doing well. I'm not flying in stable. I haven't been in stable mode the whole time, or AS3X, and I'm really impressed. Look at that.
I dare you to try to invert it.
No.
You know you want to.
Well, I think that plane that just got rolled into a ball was Alex's dad's. Is that correct, Alex?
Sorry, Dad.
So Alex's dad's gets this one here. Hey, can I try a snap roll here? That's pretty cool. It just keeps flying. Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's see if we can put it in for an actual smooth landing.
Be careful of the wind, though.
That wind
got
is
me.
pretty crazy. It really is like a full scale. You know, it's flying and then you gotta set it down. This is kind of a cool learning curve. You have amazing features like vortex generators. You got the gyros working for you, but it still has the awesome, great plane feel. And you know what? Sometimes you have bad stall characteristics. Well, that's one of the realities that what you get when you go from a small park flyer to a larger size RC plane that's heavier. You won the limbo there. But all in all, you know what? We were talking about paint chipping, the size. This is an amazing plane. It definitely takes your skill level up. It's not a beginner plane, but you can get a lot of buddies together, and I have no doubt we're going to be doing a few more episodes, really pushing limits with glider tugs, and just seeing what we can pull off with this thing.
All right, so it wasn't too hard of a crash. And what happened, Peter? Was it a tip stall or?
Basically, what happened is I touched the ground and started to ground loop a little bit. But I caught it with the rudder and just tried to take it back off. But right when the wind came and just picked the wing up and just right over it.
Yeah, actually, this was the second cartwheel this plane has had. My dad cartwheeled it once, and we just had this breakage on the wing here. It wasn't too bad. We fixed it up, and between the two cartwheels, the nose ended up coming off.
I have a new hat.
And other than that, honestly, it's not too bad. It's a big, heavy plane. They're not going to be as forgiving as the little park flyers, park zone, and that kind of stuff.
It's a good life lesson too, because with bigger scale planes where you have a little bit heavier wing loading, you got to fly the wing. You can't fly the motors, because even if you do correct it properly and have the right throws, no matter how much stabilization, vortex generators you have, if the wing's not lifting, and this wing is, you're going to have a cartwheel or a spin stall. So you always at all times got to fly it within the envelope. It doesn't matter if it has gyros on it. The gyros are not going to save you from a horrendous tip stall. And that's not a design flaw with the airplanes. That's just a fact of life.
Bigger airplanes, bigger airplanes in general, they're not going to be as forgiving when it comes to bumpy landings, hard cartwheels, and that kind of stuff. It's a big, heavy motor, big, heavy battery.
Luckily though, it's a clean brake though, so just a little bit of hot glue and
it's definitely salvageable.
And that's a key thing, is whenever you do have a crash where pieces break apart and they're laying on the ground, never just grab a couple pieces and leave. Always look around that area and look for every little piece of scrap you can. This is only a couple pieces that broke loose, but say it ejected something. If you stay in that area and walk the area and make sure you have it, you're gonna have all the pieces to put it back together even quicker.
Yeah, cool. I think we should maybe put two motors on the wing and make a giant FPV ship out of this.
I think we got a new Frankenplane episode.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
Let us know if it's something you guys want to see. And thank you so much for watching. It's truly because of you guys that we're here. Make sure you subscribe. We have new episodes every Monday and Wednesday.
Which corner is it? This corner or this corner?
I don't know.
Yeah, if you want to see flight test anytime it happens, or whenever we air it on Mondays or Wednesdays, make sure you subscribe so you get that notification.
Every Monday and Wednesday, we don't take any breaks. Every week of every month of every year.
The goods, the bads, the crashes.
So please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
See you guys.
All right.